Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. First, I just want to say thank you guys so much for all of your support on my little opening video last week. I was blown away by the positive responses and at how uplifting the messages were and how excited you guys were for this new channel. And it really just made me feel great. It made me feel motivated, like, okay, let's get this ball rolling. Let's start creating together and having fun over here. So thank you so much. It really warmed my heart and it meant a lot to me, so thank you. I have two disclaimers before we jump into this video. The first is that I'm sick. I, much like a lot of other people right now, am battling some sort of mystery respiratory illness. Like, I don't know what it is. But a lot of people are sick right now and it's not fun. I've been dealing with this for about a week. I wish that it would go away, but here we are. So I'm gonna sound a little nasally and I apologize for that. I'm sorry. It's just, I know that can be a little bit annoying, but it is what it is. This is where we're at in life right now. That's the first disclaimer. Second is that the audio on this is gonna sound a little hollow and echoey, and not just because I don't know where my microphone is. As you guys know, we've moved a couple times. I haven't made videos like this in a year, so God knows where that thing is. Like, I don't know. Your guess is as good as mine. So unfortunately, we're gonna have to deal with this kind of like not great audio just for this section while I'm sitting here. The rest of this video will be voiceover, just a little heads up. I am so excited for today's video. A full disclosure, you guys, the holidays are here and your girl is not prepared, like in any way, shape, or form. I have family members coming into town on Thursday and ask me how much I've done. Ask me if I've done laundry. Ask me what my house looks like. We're not ready. But here's the thing. Normally, I feel like I would be so on top of this, but because my husband's birthday, which is a few days ago, and it's a big birthday, it's a big number. So we're having a rager for him this Saturday. And when I say rager, I mean it's just gonna be a big party but like people are coming from out of town. People are coming from out of state. So I feel like all my mental energy and attention has been going towards this party and celebrating him. And I haven't been able to like do anything else or plan for anything else. I have a long to-do list today that I've barely gotten to. It's 1 p.m. So yeah, as far as the holidays are concerned, I am not ready. I normally would have bought my nutcracker tickets by now. I normally would be like the house would be decorated, but like, it's just been a whirlwind. So in today's video, I thought we could at least prepare for Thanksgiving together. Like after the party, that's the first big thing that we're doing. So that's what I can prepare for. And I figure, why not prepare and plan with you guys together in this video? So the first thing that I want to do is test out some new recipes. My mother has decided that she doesn't want to cook this year for Thanksgiving. So it is up to myself, my sibling, and our spouses to put together Thanksgiving dinner. And I think we're up for the challenge. So I'm testing out a stuffing recipe from a cookbook that I like randomly stumbled upon. I wasn't even looking for holiday recipes, and this cookbook happened to have a section called holiday. And so I was like, oh, I'm gonna try this recipe. So we're gonna make this stuffing recipe, and then we're also going to make a new cranberry sauce. Now here's the thing, I feel like I can already hear my brother giving me a hard time because the cranberry sauce has apples in it. And even I'm a little skeptical. I'm like, okay, why are there apples in the cranberry sauce? But it could be good. I'm just nervous because the last time that like I went rogue and did something like that, like I think there was like a mac and cheese incident once 5 years ago where I may or may not have made a recipe that called for like mushrooms in the mac and cheese, and I've never lived it down. Like my brother brings it up all the time. So I have a little anxiety about this cranberry sauce. But we'll see how it goes. We're just gonna see how it goes. And if I don't like it, then we won't make it on the day and we'll just be canned sauce all the way, because honestly, canned sauce tastes delicious anyway. I don't care what anybody says. Then I'm gonna show you how I made this amazing tablescape, which I kind of just threw together, to be completely honest. I didn't buy anything new for this table, which I'm very proud about. And so I'm gonna show you guys how I came up with this and my process and all the tips and tricks I have for creating a beautiful, abundant, verdant, wonderful tablescape for the holiday season. And these tips will be able to last you for not just Thanksgiving, but throughout the holiday season. So for your Friendsgivings, your holiday dinner parties, your Christmas dinner, all of that sort of stuff, you can take the tips that I'll give in this video and apply them to really any like dining table setup that you're going to be doing in the next month or so. And then finally, I just want to talk about some of the different ways that we can create that charming, cozy, magical holiday ambiance, because that is what makes this time of year so special, is that it just feels magical. And there are some things that we can do to heighten our senses and create a beautiful, just wonderful holiday experience. So that is what is coming up in today's video. Super excited about that. I did want to just say one thing about table settings before we jump into the video. And that is, I really want to encourage you guys not to go out and buy new things for Thanksgiving and really this holiday season for your table settings. I know it's really popular to sort of buy new things for each holiday that comes up every single year, but the overconsumption problem that I think we're going through as a society is something that really needs to be addressed, and I don't want to contribute to it. So I'm probably not gonna link anything down below, because for this video and going forward in your hosting journey, I really want you to get creative with what you already have. I really want you to ask your moms, your grandmas, your family friends, ask people if you can borrow their stuff or if they have anything that they'd like to pass down to you. Go to thrift shops, go to antique stores. Most of the stuff that I buy for tables specifically comes from antique stores. Why? One, it's like better quality most of the time, and two, it creates just like a unique and beautiful table that doesn't look like everything else that you're seeing today. Now, of course, I'm not talking to the people who like don't have plates. Like if you need to go to Home Goods or Macy's and buy some plates, then go to Home Goods and Macy's and buy your plates. What I'm saying is, if you have anything in your cabinets that can be used and repurposed to create something beautiful, go for that first. That's what I would like to encourage you guys to do this holiday season. Go for that first. Let's be kind to Mother Nature. Let's be kind to Mother Earth. Let's be environmentally conscious, and let's not run out and buy, you know, hundreds of dollars worth of stuff at Home Goods if we can avoid it, or just because we saw some influencer do it. Let's call it a spade a spade. So yeah, I just wanted to say that. We will talk more about the table later on in the video, but thank you guys so much again for watching this video, for clicking on this video. If you like it, give it a thumbs up. If you don't, that's totally fine. But I'm really happy to be here, and I'm happy to have you guys here. So thank you so much, and let's jump into the video. So the book that I was referencing is called Sunday Suppers. I have made one other recipe from this cookbook. It was a gift actually from a friend a few years ago, and I really love this cookbook. It just has such cozy vibes, and so I was really excited to try this stuffing recipe. This stuffing recipe is a mushroom and leek recipe. Now, I adore leeks. I think they're so flavorful, but they are so dirty. And I just wanted to show you guys this because I need to make a public service announcement that if you are going to be using leeks in any of your holiday cooking, please give them a thorough wash. Slice them up individually and wash them thoroughly multiple times, because I promise you, you will think you got all of the dirt off, and there's always a little bit more. But it is so worth it because leeks just add such a delicious flavor profile to really all dishes, but especially holiday dishes. This recipe called for 2 shallots. I only had 1 shallot, but I did have a red onion. So I used 1 shallot and half of a red onion, and it worked perfectly.
think it's pretty good, huh?
Let me see.
The recipe called for 3 eggs, and I happened to just have 3 eggs remaining. It was a true stroke of luck, and I am very grateful. This recipe called for brioche for the bread, and I've never had a stuffing recipe that uses brioche before, but as soon as I saw that that's what it called for, I knew that it was going to be delicious because brioche is just such a deliciously fluffy bread option. It was at this point that I realized that my bowl was way too small, so I switched bowls. Also, this wasn't in the recipe, but I decided to add some Italian sausage to the stuffing because I thought it would make a really great addition, and I was right. I do think that this stuffing would be perfect even without the sausage, but the sausage just added like a delicious salty bite that was really, really good. So I think when I make it for Thanksgiving, I will definitely add the sausage. In addition to being absolutely delicious, this is also one of the prettiest stuffings I think I've ever seen. I think stuffing gets a bad rap for kind of looking like slop, and this one does not look like that. It just looks gorgeous and golden, and it smells amazing, and it tastes amazing, and I am definitely making this next week for Thanksgiving, and I cannot wait for my family to taste it. The cranberry sauce was very easy, which I really appreciated. All I had to do was chop up 1 apple, half of a lemon with the rind and the skin included, throw it in a pot with some water, and then add the cranberries and the sugar and the cinnamon. Like, you just put it all in the pot at the same time, and then you bring it to a boil and you just wait for it to thicken. Mine took quite a while to thicken, so I actually ended up adding another cup of cranberries. It initially called for 3 and I used 4, and it came out really delicious. My husband really liked it and he wants me to make it on Thanksgiving. It was really good and it tasted amazing with the stuffing. When I'm creating a tablescape, there are 4 elements that I try to focus on, and those are textures, layers, height, and color. So for this table, the color kind of revealed itself as I was designing and choosing things from my collection to create the table. And we ended up with this gorgeous color palette of oranges and browns and greens that really emphasizes like the colors of the harvest season, the Thanksgiving season, without being too on the nose, in my opinion. I used orange tulips and pink and orange snapdragons to kind of brighten up the table and make really easy small arrangements that draw your eye to the center of the table. For height, you cannot go wrong with taper candles. I mean, you can, and they are kind of a fire hazard, so be careful. Taper candles just add so much. They add so much warmth, they add so much charm and whimsy to your table, and again, they add that height. With a table setting, you want to have these varying levels of heights just to add some interest and intrigue to your tablescape. For the setting itself, I used these antique plates that I bought earlier in the year, and they have strawberries on them, and you wouldn't ordinarily think strawberries and Thanksgiving, but it doesn't matter because the green from the plates with the strawberries ties in with the green from the salad plate, which ties in with the green from the napkin. And so you really get to have all of these different prints that tie in together because they have something in common, and that's what you want to focus on. And thinking about layers. For me, that just means layering the setting itself. So typically you start with a placemat, and then you would have a charger, and then you would have your dinner plate, and then you would have your salad plate. Elevating your dinner plate and your salad plate is a great way to create a lot more interest in your table and to have all of those different layers. And then the textures. As you can see in my table, we've got different textures. We have the linen napkins, and then we have the rattan placemats, and then we have the cotton tablecloth. So just keeping those things in mind will help you to create a table that makes sense, that's interesting, and that's beautiful. Now let's talk about adding that magical charm into your holiday dining experience. One of the things I love to do at this time of year is slice up some oranges and dry them for different festive decorations. You can use dried oranges in your tablescape, you can hang them from your Christmas tree, you can create a garland out of them. They're just so beautiful and so festive and so charming. I made these a few years ago, if you guys remember, in a video, and I absolutely loved the way that those turned out. These didn't turn out as good as my first batch, so I have to figure out the settings on my oven or something, but they still offer that sort of antique cottage charm that makes a home feel warm and inviting during the holiday season. What you'll want to do is slice your oranges about a quarter thick and then lay them on a baking sheet with some parchment paper. Take some paper towel to dab off the excess liquid and put them in the oven at a very low setting for about 3 hours. So my oven goes down to about 200, so I put them in at 225, but it will depend on your specific oven model and how low the temperature can go. With the excess rinds from the oranges, I threw them in a pot with some water, added some cloves, cinnamon, and a touch of apple cider, and created a very easy simmer pot. I want to remind you that your simmer pot doesn't have to be beautiful. The idea behind it is that it creates a beautiful smell for your home. So it doesn't have to be pretty. You can use excess things that you have lying around, like for example, if you have just used a few lemons for lemonade, or you've used some oranges for something you're baking. You can take those things and throw them into a pot with water, and there's your simmer pot. It doesn't have to be this highly curated thing. It can be very eco-friendly and a great way to add a festive scent to your home without using synthetic fragrances or anything like that if you don't want to. I hope that the tips and ideas that I shared in today's video inspire you to create a beautiful tablescape and some delicious recipes for your holiday season. If it did, leave a comment down below, like this video, and subscribe to the channel for more of this kind of content. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will catch you in the next one.